People like to sit around and blame their parents, the environment they grew up in, find every reason and excuse to not do the inner work. And that in and of itself is the reason why nothing changes. As Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches, the thoughts are the signals that we send out, and the emotions are the frequency that draw everything to us like a magnet. So in essence, choosing to not express your emotions is actually keeping you in a pattern that you may not even want to be in anymore. You may be tired of it. So many of us are just now really learning how to process emotions in a healthy way. And I've been very transparent about how meditation is helping me to be more of the observer and learn how to process my emotions in a healthier way. Not just meditation. I use a number of tools that I talk about in my videos if you scroll down my page. But I really want to thank this particular person, Electron Affinity, I think. I hope I didn't butcher your name. But I appreciate your comment on my last video as you shared that you too are understanding how to transform and transmute the energy of emotions. And emotions are just energy in motion, right? It's chemical reactions that we have in our bodies in relation to thoughts that we're thinking and the experiences that we're having in our 3D reality. This particular person said that they've finally started to allow themselves to do shadow work and to express their emotions, and they decided to record themselves expressing those emotions. They just wanted to give themselves permission to do so. And what they found was that in real time, a weight was lifted and they felt light once they got it out of their system. Ultimately, what he realized is that, we really are able to transmute and transform the energy. And I just wanted to reiterate that that's what we are here to do. Emotions are not meant to be suppressed, because part of how we relate to the world around us is through expressing emotions. And it's only when you suppress emotions that they become problematic. There's nothing wrong with being angry. There's nothing wrong with being frustrated. There's nothing wrong with feeling whatever feelings that you feel. The problem comes in when you don't allow yourself to express or let the emotion pass through. Remember, emotions don't belong to you. We are all in and out of states of consciousness, and every state of consciousness has its own inner workings of thoughts and corresponding emotions. And so as we're passing in and out of states of consciousness all throughout our day, multiple times per day, each and every one of us, whatever emotions belong to the state of consciousness that you are occupying, allow it to pass through. That's the whole point and purpose of becoming the observer and practicing things like meditation, so that you can become more aware of where you are mentally and emotionally. Once you allow the emotions to pass through, you will find that you return to your zero set point. And the interesting thing about returning to the zero set point is that those thoughts will also return to the zero set point. So whatever was pissing you off, making you angry, agitated, anxious, once you get the feelings out about it, once you express the emotions around it, you are now going to start not just feeling lighter, but you're going to start thinking lighter thoughts that aren't so heavy, thoughts that feel more like the solution, thoughts that feel more like surrender, that feel more like, regardless of what, I'm going to be okay. Or even if it's directed at someone in particular, I can forgive this person. It's not that deep. This is the importance of learning to allow yourself to feel and give yourself a safe space to do so. And also stop blaming other people for how you feel. Because no matter what someone could do to you, at the end of the day, you are choosing to feel a particular way. How you feel is a choice. And so many of us don't like to take accountability for that, because we're always so used to being on autopilot. Before we started learning about a law of attraction and law of assumption, we never really fully took accountability for the role we play in every encounter, in every dynamic, in every circumstance. Nothing has power unless you deem it so. So whatever this thing is that's occupying your mind, that's got you feeling a particular way, you can decide whether or not you want to continue to feel that way. And if so, you understand that feeling that way comes with its own set of thinking and its own set of emotions. And so unless you decide to change how you want to feel, nothing that you feel will change, not even the circumstance itself, because you are being a vibrational match to that through your thinking and your emotions. It's your emotional reactions that's keeping you in this pattern. It's the conditioning of your program. And a conditioning just means you've repeated it over and over again to now your body is now used to it. Your body is now addicted to those thought patterns that go with those corresponding emotions. This is not something that you should blame yourself for, or, look for other external sources to blame for. It just is what it is. No matter what has led you to be in this space right now, no matter what your path has been, no matter what experiences you've had, it's still your responsibility to take control of your life. You are responsible for your life. You are responsible for how you turn out. If you can continue to make an excuse for something that you know isn't working, rather than saying, you know what, I'm not going to make an excuse, I'm going to do something about it. When you don't take accountability, you make yourself powerless. But when you take accountability, when you start to understand that if I am the cause, I am also the cure. And when I say the cause, I don't mean you made everything out there happen. What I mean is you're keeping it in place. Because if it happened and you're reacting a certain way, now you're matching the frequency of that thing happening. And now you're thinking thoughts in alignment with that thing, the fear, the anger, the frustration, the bitterness, the vitriol, the vengeance. You're a frequency to that. So now you got to draw more of that in. That's what I mean. You're co-creating in that way. And so until we take 100% accountability for changing our energy, as Dr. Joe teaches, until you change your energy, nothing changes. And changing the energy means changing how you energetically relate to your world around you and the people in your life and the things that happen in life. My emotions are energy in motion. And unless I change the energy in motion that I am contributing, then the things that come back to me can't really change, at least not much. Conditioning means that we have repeated something so much that we've grown accustomed to it. Our bodies grow addicted to it, because emotions are chemical reactions in the body. And no different than when you try a drug or something for the first time and you get a response in your body from it. Your emotions produce chemical reactions in your nervous system, and this gets expressed repetitiously. When you repeat it over and over again, when you have experiences and you respond emotionally the same way over and over again, that is a conditioning. You're growing addicted to that chemical reaction, no different than someone who tries a drug and they grow addicted to how that drug reacts with their bodies. If you think about it along those lines, then it'll help you put it into perspective that we really truly are addicted to our emotions and our feeling and that thought feeling pattern that we have. As Dr. Joe tells it, we use the people and the circumstances in our lives to maintain that energetic connection because we're addicted to it. This is why you can play out an entire pattern. You might have a dating pattern, right? Or you might have a situational pattern at work, right? Like you go from job to job, but there's the same character popping up. Or you go from relationship to relationship, but the same exact pattern plays out. We have an addiction to reacting to life and people in particular ways, and that's what needs to change if you want to see changes actually happening and sticking. I recognize a lot of people want quick fixes. We want manifestation techniques. We want scripting. We want affirmations and things to change our circumstances, and we get temporary fixes. We do manifest. I've drawn in many manifestations through scripting and things like that, but what I will say is Dr. Michael Beckwith said it best, that you can temporarily manipulate the universe to get what you want, but unless you actually become a vibrational match and maintain that, you'll lose it. So you can script for the relationship, you can affirm for the money, you can visualize for the date or the text message, but what you're really after is the feeling that all of that will get you. And until you become a vibrational match to that, meaning until you recondition your mind and your body to be on the frequency of that emotion that you think that manifestation will give you, until you attune your inner world to that frequency, you're going to be temporarily matching it. But as soon as you go back to your default, which is what you've conditioned yourself to, you've been conditioning yourself from day one of your experience and your existence here, until you change that, and you're going to get it temporarily, it's going to come in and then it's going to go away. That's the hot and cold, what we call hot and cold behavior when it comes to specific people. Temporary manifestations of money where you get a large sum of money and then all of a sudden you're flat broke again. This is not a criticism. This is no judgment or condemnation at all is tolerated as you're on this path. This is why I love Neville Goddard's teaching so much, because he really does double down on making you understand that to constantly focus on mistakes made when you miss the mark. And as Neville tells it, to miss the mark just simply means you didn't get the aim that you set out to get. There's no judgment or condemnation for it. And Neville says to constantly pine over a mistake is to reinfect yourself. So we don't do that. You get the knowledge, you get the information, you move through life, you grow aware. When you're not perfect, you check yourself and you return. That's it. The mastery part is the guarantee that you are actually being who you need to be, to not just get the manifestation, but to actually be consistent with getting those results and hitting those milestones, because that's what really matters. You really care about the feeling that you think the manifestation is going to give you. And if you attune yourself to that, then you get to live that manifestation day in and day out for the long haul, not just here and there, hot and cold, in and out. I got it, I don't. But if any of this message resonates with you, please comment below. Until next time, you got this.